Hello, good day everyone. My name is Abdurrahman Umsant from Wintech, and today I'm going to be presenting the hydraulic circuit of a forklift. So first I'm just going to go through an overview of the company's background, and then I will be explaining the specifications of this forklift, and finally I'm going to go through the hydraulic circuit itself. So the company that I've taken this forklift service manual from is Hangzhou, which is based in China, found in 1956. They produce both electrical and diesel powered forklifts. They have a range of capacity between 1 to 46 tons, and the model that I'm going to be investigating is CPD 30G. The 30 means 3 tons and the G is G series. As you can see, they have many models. The main specifications of this model is that it has a capacity of 3 tons. The reservoir capacity for the CPD30G is 35 liters. The lifting height is going to be 3 meters maximum and 145 mils minimum. So with a velocity, with a speed or a velocity of 0.23 meters per second maximum. This lifting is generated by a motor which is 10 kilowatts and with a pump pressure or fluid pressure of 20 megapascals. For the tilting angle, I'm gonna go through it in details in later slides. From figure 2 we can see that all the forklifts, they have the same pressure in the redirector, which I'm going to explain as well, and they have the same feed-in pressure, which is 20 megapascals. And that's because if you think of the equation pressure equals force over area, so they will have the same pressure but they will have different surface areas of the cylinders. That's what makes this tones variations. So this is for the forklift movements. So the tilting movement is when the whole thing goes to the back or to the front. So in this case, the tilting to the back is going to be about 10 degrees. The tilting to the front is going to be about 5 degrees. So this is the lifting movements up and down with a 0.23 meters per second. And this is the adjusting cylinders. So the adjusting cylinders, how it works is when you actually missed the position where you want to put your stock in, instead of reversing the whole forklift and keep forwarding again, you just need to move the forks to the right or to the left. So this is for the hydraulic system, is made from 5, or you can say 4 independent movements. We've got the steering section, lifting section, tilting cylinder, and adjusting cylinders in this side. And now to explain each component in details, so we've got the cylinders and their mechanical actuator that gives a unidirectional force through a stroke. So we've got a double acting with double rod cylinder, and we've got double acting with a single rod cylinders for lifting, tilting, and adjusting as well. For the directional control valves, which we can see in here, this one, and this ones, which allows the fluid to travel in different parts when the signal is activated. So we've got six ways and 6 ports and 3-way DCVs in here. Here we've got 3-way and 2 ports, and here we've got 5-way and 3 ports as well, control valves. And to signal these directional control valves, we have levers in here which are done manually, and the spring to bring it back to its normal position automatically. We also have some check valves in here that allows the fluid flow in just one direction. We've got one pressure relief valve, which is this one, and for the check valve and this one all combined together gives us unloading valve, which stops or blocks the piston at a certain position for a certain amount of time. And also we got the pump, which supplies about 20 megapascals pressure, the filters that eliminates any contamination and big particles in the fluid before being pumped, and we've got the two reservoirs in here. And now I'm gonna talk about each system by itself. This is the components, just to keep for your records. So I'm gonna start with the steering system. In figure 8 we can actually see a real double acting cylinder with double rod that can go in both directions. So for the steering system, how it works: first, the fluid that's been in the tank, it's being pumped using this pump here, and follows the blue line until it reaches the first directional control valve, which is a 3-way and 2 ports. And this DCV in here is actually connected to the leading sensor, which is a pilot, and this is only working when there is a certain pressure in the system, just for safety reasons. Then follows the blue line as well until it reaches the redirector. So for the redirector, it redirects the fluid compressed into one side into the next side. This minimizes the fluids coming from the pump, as well as it increases the efficiency of the whole system. So for example, once the fluid goes into this side B, the fluid in A side travels back again in the orange path until it goes into the reservoir. So for the red line is just a path of the pilot, which is the leading sensor. Also, if we look at the lifting system, it's quite the same principle except different path. As you can see, it's pumped from the tank, traveling through the same place, which is the leading system. If there is a certain amount of pressure, it doesn't work out, and then it travels into the second DCV, directional control valve, which is 6-way and 3-way and 6 ports and 3-way. If activated, then it travels through the single direction throttle valve, so it doesn't have to go back to the same direction and cause some damage to the components. As you can see, the cylinders are in parallel, so different calculations should be taken into consideration, and then the fluids in the other side drops into the reservoir. For the tilting and adjusting system, which is the last in this presentation, we can see a tilting cylinder in here. So we've got this side here is connected to the back of the forklift, and this one connected to the forks, just to push them forward or back. So same principle, different path, just goes into the first one as well, DCV. It goes behind this one, is not connected to this directional control valve, but it drops into this one, which has different port system, directional control valve, and as well it drops into the tilting cylinders, as well as the fluids in the other side as well goes back into the reservoir. So same principle for the adjusting cylinder, except it goes into different directional control valves. As you can see, these two in here, they are separated, they don't have the same DCVs. Yeah, so this is the end of this presentation. I hope you guys understand it, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask it. Thank you.